Paul from Alexandria Knife Sharpening, and I'm back. Took a couple of days off. Went to Lake Anna, but I just got back this afternoon, and I'm right back at it. So here's the Tomahawk. This seemed to interest a lot of people, and I wanted to show you a couple things here before I even start it, because I think there's some things we have to address. So you can see this thing is just chipped to death. I mean, really bad. It chipped really, really bad. So why? Why did this chip so bad? Well, I believe it's the edge angle that this was sharpened at. So this Tomahawk is around 20 degrees. So look, this is 22, and I'm still seeing some space there. I'm going to go to 20, and that's where I'm seeing my first kind of tight fit. In my opinion, 20 for a hatchet, a Tomahawk, it's just too low, and that's why this is chipping. I think this needs to be up much closer to 25, but you can see it's a pretty thin blade, you know. And I also don't know what they were hacking at with this. You know, to me this is like it's pretty badass, like a combat Tomahawk with a hell of a spike in it. I hate to catch myself on the backstroke with that spiked end there. But, you know, if it was a zombie apocalypse or like Walking Dead kind of thing, I might not mind having one of these with me. So I put some tape on it, and I'm going to start on my 2x42, but it's just to like start getting material away. I'm not even going to be super concerned with angle just yet, because as you can see, there's just a lot of material that's going to have to be removed first to even get to a workable edge. So that's where I'm going to start. I'm going to start with let's just get rid of all these chips and start working towards a whole new bevel and everything for this Tomahawk. So this I will make sure. Someone called me out for not having my PPE on last time. I am going to wear it this time because this thing does throw a lot of metal. Okay, so one thing I wanted to point out to you. You'll notice here I have the platen pulled up where it's just barely, it's not actually touching the belt, but it's just there. And that's so, you know, right now I have a lot of material to remove. So I am pushing into that platen and taking a pretty decent angle and just going back and forth on each side, just working right now at getting the chips out of this Tomahawk, because it's got a lot of chips, and it's gonna take a significant amount of grinding to remove all those chips. Okay, and I know I didn't say before, but I'm going to tell you now. That is a 36 grit. I think it's 36. No, I'm sorry. It's a 50. So that is a 50 grit Cubitron belt. So really aggressive, but you'll see it helped me in no time get rid of all those chips. So you can see I've got a new bevel on here. All the chips are gone. Now, like I said, I wasn't super concerned at first. I wasn't concerned so much with the primary angle. So this is almost spot on 25. You can see that. So it was down at 20, and you can see it's not there anymore. And we are very, very close to 25, which I think will be much better for this. But I am going to do a little more work to this. This was just to clean it up. Now I think I'm going to continue on this on my 1x30. Even though I like how this is going, well, you know what? This is working really well. Why don't we? I think I will just continue to freehand this. Let's do the whole thing on the 2x42. So, all right. So I'm gonna lose the 50 grit, and I'm gonna go to a 200 grit Trizac now. And I'll probably have to do a little bit of belt adjusting here. Nope, we're good. Okay, so I left this section in, but I sped it up. I apologize. I didn't realize that the iPhone had gotten a little bit out of focus. But what I want you to notice is just notice that I'm getting my angle off the angle guide and then working in a particular area on the belt. And when this ends in a few seconds, I give a good explanation of exactly what I'm doing, and then I cut in a picture so you can see the area of the belt that I'm working on. So one thing I do on my 2x42 that I don't do as much on some of my other machines. A lot of times you can't use your angle guide exactly, and you kind of have to freehand a little bit more up against the platen. So you'll see what I'm doing here is kind of getting the angle that I like, and then what I'll do is I'll pick a spot and I'll continue to work that spot. So if you see, as I started doing the secondary sharpening after getting rid of all the chips, I'm working right up here, right in this little gap where there's a tiny bit of slack, but I'm still hitting the platen, and before I get up into here, and so I'm just lining up to get my hand angle where I want it, and then I'm just coming up and working in that same spot, which gives me a nice even bevel all the way across, and then I do the same thing going the opposite way. That's what I'm doing here, just so you can understand my thought process. Let's see if you guys can see that. It's got a beautiful edge on it now. Okay, so let's do a little stropping now. We're going edge trailing, always stropping, going away. I like to do it about 1400 on these sewing machine motors. I think we're good there. I don't think that's going to need anything else. Let me get a piece of paper. You see that Tomahawk's cutting nice. Oh yeah. So that's good. I'm going to remove the protective tape I put on here just to protect the finish. I'll just clean that off a bit. And then I'm going to treat this with, yeah, it's a little sticky. There we go. That looks better. Now I'm going to just rubbing that. Just watch your fingers near the blade. There we go. I think we're getting that off there. See. Yeah, there's just a little something sticky on there. My favorite things for blacked out stuff, I've shown this before, is a tactical Flitz matte finish. So that's what I'm going to finish this with. Just spray it on the whole thing. And then wipe it down. There we go. And there is our resharpened Tomahawk. Chips taken out and nice and sharp, ready to go back. So when I got it over in a little bit better light, I noticed a little bit of tiny rough edge on one side. So I'm just going to take it to my 1x30 on the slack belt portion, just a tiny bit. For a couple passes. Make sure we got that off there. Yeah, that looks better. I think we got it now. Yeah, I saw just a tiny little bit of rough edge that I didn't get stropping. My 2x42 is in a slightly darker section of the shop. Alright, I'm going to hit it on the high-speed wheel. Since it's such a nice piece, I want to just give that a little bit more mirror edge on that edge. Yeah, we're good. Whew! I think that really improved it too. Feels even sharper. Let's see here. Oh yeah, that is wicked sharp. You see that? Yeah. So we are good, and the Tomahawk is done. Can you see that edge? Come on, iPhone, you can focus. There's the edge. There's the opposite side. All the chips are gone, and that's nice and cleaned up. And I think this is going to give him better performance here. It was a little too thin, in my opinion. Down there at 17. And I think this is going to be far more appropriate. Let's just do a quick angle peek to see how much we brought it up. So that's looking like a pretty good 25. Yeah, and we were down at 20. So I think this is going to be a lot better. Probably took 26 or 27, but I think that's going to be far better performing. It should keep this from chipping where we're at now, and it should perform a lot better. All right, so that's it for the Tomahawk. Have a great day, everyone.